Dear Miss Adrianus, this year I couldn't do the consultancy assignment. That's why I'm making an interview about, I'm making a video about Oriëntatie op het werkveld 1. In Oriëntatie op het werkveld 1, we had to interview three different people with three different jobs. I chose three different people with three total different jobs because I still don't know what I want to do in the future. It's still very unclear for me. I still have a lot of interest, so it's a big question mark for me in my future. The first person I interviewed was Marijke. She's a librarian at my local hometown, so she knows me. She knows me as well. And it was a very pleasant and surprising interview. I was surprised because a librarian isn't as easy, or it's more complex than people think. You have to do a lot more than you think you have to do as a librarian, because most people just think a librarian just sits there and just catalogs books and find new books to bring into the library, but it's so much more. Yes, they have to catalog the books. Yes, they have to find new books to promote in the library to for people. But they also have to organize events to promote the library. They have to communicate with everyone because there's a lot more people that works at the library. They have to do a lot of meetings with higher ups to discuss the future of the library, because the libraries are getting less and less popular. The second interview I did was with Isabel. She works as a manager in Proximus, and that interview I did in French, and that's the interview I liked the least because she wasn't very enthusiastic about her job. I looked forward to the interview because it's a job I saw myself as a child to be a manager, be in charge of a couple of people, be in a team, work together, because I love to work together with people because I'm a very extrovert person, and I learn a lot of things when you work with other people. And I think it's the best way to work for me. I wouldn't like to work alone, not in a team. Plus, it fits more for office management than, for example, a librarian. She has worked as a long time as a manager. Maybe that's why she was less enthusiastic, because that's what she used to. Um, the last interview I did was with Karel Knokkaert. He is the owner of Shop Schrilhuis, who was the winner of Mijn Pop-up Restaurant 2017. So it's very special to interview him. I was very lucky to have worked for him because I've learned a lot through him of working in a restaurant. I got more responsibility there because I've worked in the restaurant industry for a lot of years, about 8 years and a half. Plus, I always thought I would open my own restaurant when I'm older because I love cooking. I love making dinner for people. Um, I host a lot of parties where I uh, cook dinner or cook lunch for people. So it was very interesting to see his view and why he chose to open a restaurant. So that was a very interesting interview. Because he first was a police officer, and he discovered he liked to cook with a friend of his. So they participated in barbecue competitions all over the world, and that's how they came about Chop's Grill House, which was a restaurant in my hometown, but they are just a catering business, and they are very popular in Belgium, in France as well. It was very interesting to listen to him, to listen how he came up with the concept of American cuisine, because it's a barbecue restaurant, and it's very concentrated on the barbecue cuisine in America. Um, so that's why I chose him. So that's why it was very interesting to hear about all his work and how much work it is to how much work actually takes to make a restaurant, to make a name for yourself in the restaurant business, because that's one of the most competitive businesses in the world, the restaurant business. And it was very nice to hear how he made it to be one of the best barbecue restaurants in Belgium and are becoming very popular in France. Thank you for listening.